Okay, it's that time for Cleared for Takeoff. Our aviation enthusiast, Rich Kaplan. And Rich, by the way, one of his more riveting segments that Rich has ever done on this show involved a 7-year-old, Maureen Griffin, when Maureen survived the plane crash. And that was one of the most riveting segments that Rich has ever done. But unfortunately tonight, Rich has a sad story to tell about an airplane crash. So take it away, Rich.
Thank you, Howie. On October 29th, a Lion Air Boeing 737 MAX 8, just like this one, departed Jakarta, Indonesia. 189 passengers on board. The aircraft, 11 minutes into the flight, experienced massive problems and plunged into the Java Sea. The impact was so violent that it disintegrated the aircraft on impact. Now, what makes this crash so controversial is that the Indonesian government recovered one of the two black box flight recorders, and the recorder indicated that the AOA probe, which is located on the nose of the aircraft, my videographer can zoom in, it's hard to make it out, but right over here you have 3 little dots. One of them is a pitot tube, one of them is the AOA tube. The pitot tube measures airspeed. It delivers telemetry into a computer, and the computer then tells the pilot how fast he or she is going. The AOA, or angle of altitude, breaks down, to break it down into layman's terms, basically is the pitch of the aircraft, whether the airplane is pitching upwards as so, or pitching downwards as so. Now, the AOA probe was maintained by the airline just a day before the crash. In fact, it was swapped out and replaced. And my theory, and I'm praying I'm wrong about this because I don't want to be right about this one, is that they put in a faulty AOA probe and didn't realize it. Now, the AOA probe delivers computerized telemetry to the cockpit. The 737 MAX is the latest version of the Boeing 737. It has only been operating now for about 2 years. Our own mayor has flown on it. And I can tell you from experience, the MAX is a very safe, very reliable airplane. It's also very state-of-the-art. Among the many changes to the MAX are new engines like these that you see here. These are the new engines that they installed on the MAX that are quieter. We call them the egg crate because they actually look like a little egg crate in the back. And you have what are called scimitar winglets, which are split winglets that provide both lift and aerodynamic stability in flight. The problem with the 737 MAX, in my opinion, is that it may be too much Boeing for certain pilots to fly. In this particular case, the Indonesian government does not have the best reputation for airlines. Garuda Indonesia has had several incidents. Lion Air has had several incidents. So the Indonesian government is in a pickle because this is a brand new airplane and they need to come up with something. They need to know why 189 people lost their lives. It's looking more and more like the AOA probe failed on this aircraft, Howie, and if that is the case, the pilots did not have accurate information on the angle that they were at, and the plane stalled. Now, a stall, for those who aren't familiar with the stall, this is our 737. Right now we're at level flight. A stall is when air is no longer being fed into these engines over here. And you don't have any airflow in the jet engine, and as a result, you don't have lift. And the plane literally plummets to the ground. Now, from what witnesses are saying, they say the plane made something of a nosedive into the Java Sea. We don't know for certain. What we do know is this isn't the first incident involving a Lion Air aircraft, but it's the first incident involving a 737 MAX. The FAA has issued a federal mandate warning about AOA probes. They are investigating along with Boeing. Boeing has sent engineers to Indonesia to investigate this. So hopefully we'll know more soon. But I still stand by my guns, as do many other people, when I tell you that if it's not Boeing, I ain't going. Honest and truthful. I love Boeing. I swear by them. I believe very strongly that this investigation is going to be ongoing, but we will hopefully find out something soon enough that's etched in stone that we can say is a definite. But in aviation, there's no such thing as a definite, Howie. Just because it looks like this was an AOA probe failure doesn't mean it was an AOA probe failure. We don't know yet. So I'm waiting to hear word from the Indonesian Transportation Safety Board, their investigating body, on what caused this crash. Once we know more, you'll know more, and I will educate you, as I always do, on what happened. But until then, it's hard to really know for certain if that is indeed the cause, but it looks that way. I mean, they recovered the engines appeared normal. They did a full maintenance check on this aircraft. Everything they claimed turned to be normal, but the pilots obviously had issues with the computers on the aircraft, and the telemetry that was coming from these probes may not have been accurate. And that's what may have caused this crash. Thank you, Howie.
Okay, Richard, thanks for that report, and we look forward to follow up on that. And great job, Richard Kaplan.
Thank you.